She didn't say a word. But when Justin Bieber double-tapped on Selena Gomez's photo, the internet caught fire. And Hailey's response? It screamed louder than any post could. We're not talking a vague quote or a subtle unfollow. We're talking about a digital slap, bold, icy, and personal. Fans are calling it petty. Some are calling it power. But everyone's asking the same thing. Why is Justin still publicly liking Selena's pics right after her engagement? Let's be clear, these weren't just any photos. Selena was glowing hand in hand with Benny Blanco, showing the world she'd moved on. And right on cue, Justin's likes start showing up in public. No burner account. No shame. Just open, messy, and painfully timed. And Hailey? She didn't break down. She broke the internet. This isn't just relationship drama. This is a full-blown PR meltdown with cryptic posts, family members stepping in, and rumors that their marriage might be hanging by a thread. So what really went down behind the scenes? And is Hailey finally done playing it cool? Let's get into it. Multiple sources across social media started buzzing within hours. Justin didn't just like one of Selena's pics. He allegedly liked several, and not just selfies. These were full-on celebration shots. Selena glowing, arms wrapped around Benny, clearly happy, clearly thriving. Without dot in the timing, couldn't have been worse. Just days after the world found out about Selena and Benny's engagement in December 2024, Justin's likes started trickling in like digital breadcrumbs leading right back to his past. Insiders close to the situation say Justin felt some type of way about it. Translation, he wasn't okay, and honestly, who would be? Watching your first love, your global superstar ex, announce her happily ever after, while your own relationship is allegedly crumbling behind closed doors? It hits different, but that wasn't even the most chaotic part, because right after those likes, Justin allegedly posted a meme, and not just any meme. It was Gollum from Lord of the Rings, obsessing over a ring. Caption? Girls on social media when they get engaged. It didn't take long for fans to connect the dots. They saw it as a not-so-subtle dig, a jab straight at Selena's ring reveal. One fan wrote, "This is textbook shade. Justin is spiraling." Another said, "This is giving. Showed up to your ex's wedding in a white tux." And just when the internet thought it couldn't get messier, Justin dropped a selfie with Hailey. Cute, right? Except the soundtrack was All My Ghosts by Lizzie McAlpine, a song that literally describes being haunted by memories of an ex. Not exactly I've moved on vibes. That's when the internet snapped. The reaction online? Instant combustion. One fan posted, "Justin Bieber is crashing out over Selena's engagement." Another didn't hold back. "Bro is in full meltdown mode mid-marriage, still liking his ex's posts and posting Gollum memes. This is wild." But it didn't stop there. In the middle of all this chaos, Justin allegedly continued liking more of Selena's posts. Not some secret 2 a.m. scroll, we're talking broad daylight, verified account, full view of the public, and you already know. Fans, and probably Hailey too, were shocked. One Reddit thread called it digital disrespect. Straight up, another said, "It's one thing to stalk your ex. It's another to press like while your wife's still in the room." And here's where things took a darker turn. According to multiple Reddit users, this wasn't a one-time thing. One even pointed out a pattern. Every time Selena moves forward with The Weeknd, with Zayn, now Benny, Justin somehow pops back into the picture. And honestly, it's giving serious. I don't want you, but I don't want anyone else to have you either energy. Even casual fans started piecing the timeline together. Selena's big engagement glow-up, Justin's public reactions, and Hailey caught in the middle yet again. It didn't feel like a coincidence. It felt like deja vu, and the internet was watching it unfold in real time, popcorn in hand. Reddit didn't hold back. Within hours of Justin's alleged likes on Selena's engagement photos, threads exploded with brutal takes. One user claimed Justin has a track record of acting out anytime Selena is happy with someone new. Another said he's not over her. He never was. And Hailey knows it. That single theory sparked a wildfire. Was Hailey always the backup plan? Some fans traced the timeline like it was a true crime case. Selena and Justin reportedly broke up for good in March 2018. By June, Justin was dating Hailey. By July 1st, he proposed. And by September, they were married. Less than 6 months between his final split from Selena and tying the knot with Hailey. The internet wasn't buying the love story anymore. One commenter summed it up. "That's faster than picking a Netflix show. This wasn't love. This was damage control." The harshest take? Selena said no. Hailey said yes. That's the whole story. Other users called Justin a narcissist, unable to handle rejection. One post. Read, he wanted her back. When he didn't get it, he married Hailey out of spite. Ouch, but didn't stop there. Fans began pulling receipts, comparing lyrics, interviews, even Hailey's public statements. The narrative forming online was cruel. Justin never stopped loving Selena, and Hailey was left trying to fill a role that wasn't hers to begin with. As the timeline kept unfolding, fans started questioning everything from Justin's emotional availability to Hailey's silence, to whether this marriage was built on love or leftover feelings. Fans didn't have to dig far to find more fuel for the fire. They pointed straight to Selena's 2019 hit, "Lose You to Love Me," specifically the lyric that still haunts this entire triangle. "In 2 months, you replaced us like it was easy." For many, that one line confirmed everything. It was a direct arrow aimed at Justin's rapid transition from Selena to Hailey. And the timing? Painfully perfect. Because just hours after that track dropped, Hailey allegedly posted a screenshot of herself listening to Summer Walker's "I'll Kill You." She later claimed it was a coincidence, but fans weren't buying it. One tweet read, "That's not timing, that's a message." And it wasn't subtle. The tension between. The women may have been publicly denied, but online? It was word out the comparisons only got worse from there. In early 2023, Hailey was seen in a resurfaced clip allegedly gagging at the mention of Taylor Swift, Selena's ride-or-die best friend. Selena didn't stay silent. She allegedly jumped into the comments section and stood up for Taylor, saying, "So sorry my best friend is and continues to be one of the best in the game." It wasn't just a clapback, it was a line in the sand. And Taylor, she'd already made her loyalty known. In a past Wall Street Journal interview, she'd said she didn't know if she could ever forgive someone who hurt Selena. That kind of protection hit fans hard. It wasn't just celebrity gossip anymore. It was turning into a decade-long saga of love, loyalty, betrayal, and survival. And for every action, there was a reaction. Cryptic posts, online digs, eyebrow feuds. It was all there. And it was far from overdone by the time Justin's likes hit the timeline. Hailey's silence finally started to crack, and not in words, but in actions. According to sources close to the couple, she was completely stunned. And honestly, who wouldn't be? Imagine your husband with a documented, decade-long romantic history with one of the world's most beloved pop stars, suddenly liking her engagement photos. Not in secret, not accidentally, but publicly right as she announces her future with someone else. This wasn't just messy, it was a crisis. Reports said Hailey had had enough. She wasn't just upset, she was looking into legal options to fight back against the storm of hate, comparisons, and online rumors coming at her from every direction. From accusations of stalking to claims she copied Selena's entire aesthetic. Hailey had been under fire for years. But this time, something had clearly shifted. In interviews, Hailey had long tried to push back on the drama. In her 2022 Call Her Daddy podcast appearance, she insisted there was no overlap between her and Selena when it came to Justin. She tried to sound calm, composed, above it all. But fans never really let go of the timeline, and now with Justin reportedly back to liking Selena's posts, it was like all of her past words were unraveling in real time. Reddit exploded again. Some called it betrayal. Others called it karma. But everyone agreed, whatever was happening behind closed doors, it didn't look good. From the outside, it was a full-blown digital storm. From the inside, it was starting to feel like the final crack in a marriage that had already taken too many hits. As the backlash snowballed, Hailey finally made her next move, and she didn't need a press release to do it. She hit that unfollow button. Multiple close friends of Justin reportedly disappeared from her following list overnight, and the message was loud. She wasn't playing damage control anymore, she was drawing a line. Then came the Instagram story. No names, no direct callouts, just a perfectly timed post about self-respect. For fans watching the chaos unfold, it was the digital equivalent of slamming the door on your way out. The internet connected the dots immediately. "She's done," one fan posted. "This isn't shade. This is the beginning of the end." But the biggest red flag? It didn't come from Hailey. It came from her father, Stephen Baldwin. Yes, that Stephen Baldwin jumped into the drama with a cryptic public plea. He asked people to pray for Hailey and Justin. And look, when your father-in-law is asking strangers to pray for your marriage on the internet, that's not exactly screaming stability. It's screaming alarm bells. Speculation exploded. Were they even living together anymore? Multiple insiders suggested the couple had started showing up to events separately. Rumors even swirled that they hadn't been sharing a home for weeks. Add in blind items about cheating, depression, and emotional distance, and suddenly, this wasn't just a messy PR moment, it looked like a full-blown collapse. And while Hailey remained mostly quiet, that one story, that one unfollow spree, and her dad's plea said more than any caption ever could, just when things couldn't get any more emotionally charged. Another twist hit the internet like a wrecking ball. Hailey's pregnancy news dropped. What should have been a private celebration or at the very least, a moment of public support turned into something else entirely. Because instead of Hailey trending, it was Selena Gomez's name lighting up the charts, not congratulations. Not baby name theories. Just a flood of memes, reactions, and viral comparisons that pointed in one brutal direction. The shadow of Selena still loomed. One user wrote, "Hailey announces a baby and people still run to Selena. That says everything." Another added, "Imagine sharing something this big and your husband's ex is the one everyone's talking about." And honestly, the timing couldn't have been worse. Fans were already dissecting Justin's recent Instagram likes. Now with a baby on the way, every digital move was under a microscope. The public started wondering, was Hailey celebrating new life while still battling old ghosts? One Reddit comment summed it up harshly. "This isn't a new chapter. This is a rerun." Another said, "This child's going to grow up knowing the internet was more focused on dad's ex than the pregnancy." It was a harsh, cold spotlight, and Hailey was right in the middle of it again. Meanwhile, Justin remained largely silent, fueling even more questions about where his head and heart truly were. Was he ready to be a father? Or was he still emotionally stuck in the past? As the headlines spiraled, one truth became clearer than ever. Justin Bieber might have moved on publicly, but emotionally, he still seemed haunted. Fans dug up past clips where he admitted to hurting Hailey, moments where he looked hollow, distant, like a man still trying to outrun his own shadow. And then there were the interviews, those moments where he openly called Selena his first real love, where he described their relationship as the best part of his teenage years. Those words hit differently now, especially when paired with his recent digital behavior, especially when he's supposedly entering fatherhood. One viral post didn't hold back. It's like Justin's still emotionally stuck in a chapter that Selena closed years ago. And if that's true, then what does that say about Hailey? About the baby? About the foundation of their entire relationship? For Hailey, the betrayal likely runs deeper than just a few Instagram likes. She stood by him through breakdowns, internet hate, and relentless comparisons, only to be hit with public signs that maybe, just maybe, he never fully let go of the woman who came before her. Meanwhile, Selena? She's not looking back. Sources close to her say she's focused on peace, healing, and her relationship with Benny Blanco, a man who, by all accounts, shows up for her without the ghosts, games, or lingering heartbreak. After years of battling lupus, managing mental health struggles, and being dissected by the media, Selena seems to be in the healthiest place she's ever been. And yet, Justin's alleged digital breadcrumbs threaten to cloud that peace. To fans, it feels like an emotional trespass, as if her past keeps trying to insert itself into a chapter that has nothing to do with him anymore. As if the triangle weren't already tangled enough. Fans brought another layer of chaos into the mix: the copycat claims. For years, internet sleuths have documented side-by-side comparisons, photos, tattoos, even career choices, pointing out striking similarities between Hailey and Selena. And while some called it coincidence, others saw a pattern too precise to ignore. One of the most viral accusations: the matching G tattoo behind Hailey's ear, nearly identical to the one Selena got in honor of her little sister, Gracie. Hailey claimed hers was for her pastor's daughter, Georgia. but the timing raised eyebrows. Just 12 days after Selena revealed hers, Hailey's appeared in the same spot. The internet didn't buy the coincidence. One tweet read, "You don't just accidentally get the exact same tiny tattoo in the exact same place right after your husband's ex. That's not random, that's rehearsed." And it didn't stop there. Fans began dissecting Hailey's YouTube cooking show What's in My Kitchen, and the comparisons to Selena plus Chef were instant. Same cozy, at-home vibe, same grandma guest appearances, same real girl branding. The online reaction was savage. "This is copy-paste energy," one TikTok user said. Selena launched hers in 2020. Hailey's version dropped 2 years later. Even their interviews were under a microscope. Both women had given eerily similar quotes over the years about wanting people to know their heart. And while that may be a common phrase, fans weren't having it. They weren't just watching for drama. They were analyzing it like digital detectives. TikTok series, YouTube breakdowns, Reddit conspiracy maps. This wasn't gossip anymore. It had turned into a full-blown internet obsession where every outfit caption and camera angle became a clue in the narrative dot just when it seemed like the internet had uncovered every possible twist. A new theory blew the conversation wide open, and it came from someone claiming to be a former superfan. A woman named Dana went viral after alleging that she personally helped Hailey get closer to Justin back in the early 2010s. According to Dana, Hailey had been quietly reaching out behind the scenes, asking for intel, hotel locations, appearances, fan meetups, anything that would help her bump into Justin. And Dana says she delivered. She even claimed that Hailey booked rooms at the same hotels where Justin was staying and casually hung around restaurants, hoping to cross paths. One TikTok commenter summed it up best. "This isn't fangirling, this is strategy." And then came the real kicker. Dana claimed Hailey submitted a video for a fan-made recreation of Justin and Selena's iconic "Call Me Maybe" lip sync years before she and Justin ever dated. That's not just casual support. That's full-blown fan club behavior. One viewer said, "It's giving single white female just without the jump scare." People began looking at Hailey's entire rise in a new light. Was it coincidence? Or was it a long game? The theory got even messier when fans revisited Hailey's teenage tweets, where she openly called Selena and Justin her favorite couple, and even described Selena as beyond flawless. Suddenly, the story wasn't just about a love triangle. It was starting to look like a love blueprint one Hailey may have been quietly building for years before anyone noticed stop by 2014. That so-called fan-to-wife theory took on a new twist. And her name was Jenner. Hailey began appearing more frequently alongside Kendall and Kylie, two of the biggest social powerhouses of the time. To the public, it looked like just another influencer friendship, but to fans watching closely, it was a strategic pivot. Befriending the Jenners didn't just give Hailey access to exclusive parties or photo ops, it gave her a direct line into Justin Bieber's world. No more waiting outside venues or relying on online tips. She was now in the same rooms on the same couches and part of the same elite LA circle where Justin lived. Breathed and partied. From there, the transformation was rapid. Hailey went from being a familiar background presence to someone regularly spotted leaving Justin's house. Paparazzi shots hinted at overnight visits. Fan sightings increased. The narrative had changed, and fast. What once looked like casual hangouts with mutual friends now resembled something more deliberate. One fan tweeted, "That's not luck. That's LinkedIn-level networking." It wasn't lost on anyone that Hailey's glow-up from fangirl to inner circle fixture seemed to align perfectly with Selena and Justin's growing tension. The closer Hailey got to Justin, the more fractured his relationship with Selena appeared. And as the timelines began overlapping, the internet's obsession deepened. For Hailey, this was the moment she stepped out of the shadows. For everyone else, it was the start of a theory they couldn't stop watching. Was she always playing the long game, and did it finally pay off? Even as Hailey moved from the sidelines to center stage in Justin's life, one thing never seemed to fade: his emotional tie to Selena Gomez. Fans pointed to interviews where Justin couldn't hide his lingering feelings. In one, he flat out called Selena his first real love. In another, he admitted that their relationship was the most meaningful part of his teenage years. The internet didn't miss a beat. One user wrote, "Imagine being married to someone who still romanticizes their ex on camera. That's not love, that's a leftover dream." Another added, "He married Hailey, but he still speaks about Selena like she's the one that got away." For Hailey, those interviews had to cut deep. It's one thing to compete with the memory of an ex, it's another to hear your husband bring her up in the present tense. When asked how he'd feel if Selena found someone new, Justin visibly tensed up. And that said more than any answer. He gave. The awkwardness wasn't subtle. The body language? Loud. Fans noticed. And so did Hailey. It was like living in the shadow of a relationship that refused to stay in the past, even years after the wedding. The vows, the public declarations of love. One Reddit thread summed it up bluntly. She got the ring. Selena still has the space in his heart. Whether fair or not, it was the kind of digital narrative that doesn't just trend, it sticks. And it added yet another layer of tension to a marriage already strained under the weight of a very public, very permanent ghost stop. By now, the internet wasn't just watching, it was archiving. Fans began compiling entire folders of what they believed to be copycat behavior from Hailey. Side-by-side TikTok breakdowns flooded timelines, showing outfit comparisons, hairstyle overlaps, even Instagram captions that felt just a little too familiar. And while fashion trends do repeat, some of these moments were uncannily specific. One clip showed Selena in a particular structured blazer and bold red lip combo, followed by Hailey wearing nearly the same look just days later. But it didn't stop at close. Fans pointed to tattoos like the infamous G behind the ear and side-by-side photos of Hailey and Selena both flaunting it, same placement, same font, same vibe. Hailey said hers was for someone else entirely. But for a lot of people online, the timing spoke louder than the explanation. Even more striking was the comparison between Hailey's cooking show, What's in My Kitchen, and Selena's earlier series, Selena Plus Chef. Both had warm, at-home vibes. Both leaned into that relatable, unpolished energy. And both, coincidentally, featured their grandmothers as guests. One fan joked, "This isn't inspiration. It's a Pinterest board come to life." Others weren't so nice. They accused Hailey of rebranding Selena's whole identity and calling it content. Then came the quotes. In interviews, both women had said almost the same phrase, "I just want people to know my heart." A beautiful sentiment on its own. But back to back in the context of all the other similarities, it added fuel to an already burning internet theory. People didn't just believe there was a feud. They believed there was a full-blown identity war, and Hailey, fair or not, was being painted as the one chasing shadows. As the comparisons reached a fever pitch, fans shifted from casual observers to full-blown investigators. TikTok became the epicenter of a digital manhunt, with creators posting 7-part series dissecting every possible connection. One viral comment said it best, "This is no longer a feud. This is a fandom forensic file." In one particularly explosive TikTok, a user laid out a timeline that spanned over a decade, from Hailey's teenage tweets praising Selena, to the alleged tattoo mimicry, to the matching outfits and eerily timed captions. The theory? That Hailey had been tracking Selena's moves, mirroring them, and slowly stepping into the space she once occupied. Some found it fascinating. Others found it unhinged. But everyone was watching. The most brutal take came from an X post that exploded on X, formerly Twitter. Just finished that 7-part. TikTok and Hailey Bieber needs help. Stalking someone for 10 years, getting with him, then allegedly stalking his ex? That's unhinged. It was harsh, messy, and viral. The idea that Hailey had spent her formative years following every beat of Justin and Selena's relationship, only to end up in the middle of it, felt like something pulled out of a Netflix true crime series. And that's what made it so addictive. This wasn't just celebrity gossip anymore. It had become a narrative, a psychological drama, and a reflection of everything people love and fear about fame, relationships, and obsession. The lines between public and private had fully blurred. And for Hailey, Selena, and Justin, it didn't matter what was real or exaggerated, because the internet had already written its own version of the truth. As the internet's obsession boiled over, the triangle began spiraling toward its most vulnerable phase yet, and all eyes turned to Justin. After months of strange social media behavior, Cryptic posts and public silence, fans began speculating that he was cracking under the weight of everything. Some even claimed to see it in his eyes during recent live streams. One comment read, "You can tell he's not okay. He looks like a man haunted by everything he's lost and everything he can't fix." While no official statement was made, the signs were everywhere: emotional distance, inconsistent appearances, and digital behavior that felt more like subconscious confession than casual scrolling. Whether it was intentional or not, the message was clear: Justin wasn't healed, and maybe he never had been. Meanwhile, Selena seemed to be living in a different universe. After years of headlines, heartbreak, and emotional battles, she finally looked free. Engaged to Benny Blanco, grounded in her health, and openly prioritizing her peace, Selena had stopped performing survival and started living for fans who watched her endure years of being painted as the ex. Her recent glow-up felt like justice. She wasn't clapping back. She wasn't throwing shade. She was simply rising without needing to take anyone down. One tweet said it best: Selena didn't win by fighting. She won by letting go. That contrast hit hard. Because while Justin's actions seemed rooted in nostalgia, Selena's moves felt like closure. And for Hailey, caught in the middle, it had to feel like standing in a house with no windows, trying to hold on to a man still staring out the back door. In the end, this wasn't just a celebrity love triangle. It became a mirror, a cautionary tale about identity, obsession, and the emotional wreckage that happens when your personal life becomes public property. Hailey, once the quiet outsider, now stood as the most dissected woman on the internet. Justin, forever torn between who he loved and who he needed, struggled with the weight of his own legacy. And Selena, she didn't just survive it, she transcended it. But even in her peace, she couldn't fully escape the past. That's the cruel twist of it all. When a love story unfolds in front of millions, you don't get to end it quietly. You end it under a microscope, while strangers rewrite your memories in the comments section. Social media didn't just watch this story, it directed it. Every like, every cryptic caption, every outfit choice became a plot twist. Fans weren't just observers, they were narrators, detectives, and sometimes executioners. They took moments and turned them into movements. Hashtags became battle cries, edits became evidence. And somewhere along the way, the line between performance and reality shattered. Justin and Hailey's marriage wasn't just theirs anymore. It belonged to the audience. And Selena's healing wasn't just personal, it was public demand. That's the danger of parasocial culture. You start believing you know people you've never met, and worse, you believe their story owes you closure. So what did we really learn? Maybe it's this: don't lose yourself chasing someone who still lives in someone else's memory. Don't confuse obsession for love or possession for peace. And if your father-in-law is out here asking for prayers online, maybe it's time to stop scrolling, start healing, and walk away from the script the internet keeps forcing you to read.